Welcome back. This is Friday Night Live with me, ST, and it's 20 minutes to 8, and Alhamdulillah, we are now moving on to the sports segment. We've been having some major problems. Technical problems there. We do apologize to the viewers and the listeners, respectively, in this regard. So we're talking now about football. Many people obviously anticipating the upcoming training and the games as the leagues are opening. Obviously, this weekend we know Bundesliga action starts. There's also going to be EPL football, PSL football as well. And regarding PSL football, massive talking point as EPSA ends their 16-year partnership and sponsorship of the PSL here in South Africa. And we're going to talk to Zakir Daud about that in a moment as well. So that's some of the big news headlines regarding football. Also, Tottenham striker Harry Kane. He could be single-minded in a Euro chase, perhaps. It's going to be interesting to see the momentum. Zakir, assalamu alaikum. Good evening to you, my brother. Welcome once again to Friday night.
Walaikum salam. Shukran so much for having me. Just a pity I couldn't be with you guys last week, but I'm back and let's talk everything football, man.
Yeah, no, lovely, man. Awesome stuff. So, look, obviously, there's been lots of talking points regarding football. Obviously, people are in anticipation. The starting of the EPL, Bundesliga action is underway. Obviously, this weekend, we know that. PSL is a massive talking point where the huge sponsorship of APSA, a former member of the Barclays Group, ends a 16-year sponsorship. I mean, that's a long, long time. We're talking 2004, 2005, around there, when the APSA Premiership, as it was titled. So Irvin Khosa, obviously chairman of the PSL, he spoke during the PSL press conference at the headquarters, and the league will have a new main sponsor. Zakir, what is your view regarding this, big event? Obviously, a new sponsor will usher in APSA pulling out. What do you make of it?
Look, it's going to be a massive loss for the PSL as a whole. We do know that APSA came in and they brought in a couple of millions every year, which actually looked after the well-being of clubs, and it went more than just the title sponsorship of just the team, the teams and the leagues. So I think that it's going to be a massive loss. But let's see. I hope that obviously Dr. Ivan Khosa, he's one of the better businessmen in this country, and I'm sure that the deal he's going to be lining up next will be close to the APSA deal, or maybe even surpass the value of the APSA deal. Who knows? But it is testing times right over the world, and I think personally it's going to be very difficult for them to find a sponsor. However, if you look at the Premier League, the PSL for that matter, they're one of the biggest leagues in Africa, and I don't think it should be a problem for them to secure a sponsorship.
Now, having said that, being one of the the biggest leagues in Africa, having said that is fantastic, right? But another thing I want to discuss here, you mentioned something where it's difficult around the globe. We know that in Europe, and I'm shifting attention here just for a second, in the EPL, Newcastle now obviously been taken over by Amanda Stavely and obviously Mohammed bin Salman, Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Massive funding for that team, is anticipated. But you mentioned that it's testing times for everyone. Now, when it comes to FIFA fair play regulations and testing times for sponsors, we know the media space is a difficult period as well. Things are difficult across the broad spectrum, not only sport, media, health, legal, all sectors of the economy, of the global economy, have been affected. Do you think now that we're going to see tremendous cuts in sponsorships as opposed to what it was before? I mean, obviously, we're now hitting skyrocketing numbers here in South Africa. It's anticipated in winter we're going to hit our peak with the COVID. But coming back to the point of global financial difficulties, We might see a juggernaut. There's rumors, maybe you might see a Telkom take over the PSL, maybe, who knows? I don't know. Caltex, we don't know, but I'm anticipating a multinational. But I'm saying, do you think that there might be a reduction in sponsorships as opposed to what we were seeing before?
Look, it's a tricky one. I certainly think not. I think the value of the brand and the value of sport actually goes up right now because there's nothing to do. Everybody's at home. Everybody's looking for something to watch. And I mean, with us being starved from live sport for about 3 months, everybody's waiting in anticipation of the Premier League to start. I mean, when the Bundesliga
Yeah,
started, they hit record numbers at that first weekend. So the value of sport goes up because everybody wants to watch whatever league is going to be taking place. And now at this time, what better place than to have your name on a billboard on the side of the pitch while these guys are playing, and you have about thousands of people, if not millions, looking at your branding around the football pitch. I mean, how many people doesn't your brand reach by just a simple billboard like that?
of course. No, of course, definitely. Valid point there. Just that I think, we might see a reduction because many companies are experiencing, shifts, changes, reductions in staff, cost cutting measures, things like that. But anyway, having said that, PSL chairman Avan Koza has obviously thanked EPSA for the sponsorship in the last couple of years. What do you make of local football? And now that we've seen in other sporting sectors like rugby, teams are allowed to and players are allowed to start their training. We know EPL action starts in a few more days' time. Um, PSL wise, what are you expecting? I mean, there's been, Kaiser Chiefs were last holding the top of the league, and there was a top battle of the top four. Maritzburg were keeping momentum. I think they might have dropped to fifth, if I'm not mistaken, as the last standing. But PSL wise, what do you make of this entire build up now to the season beginning and commencing again? Obviously, momentum is a key factor. Consistency of performance with players, coaches, gameplay, tactics, lots of dynamics. I mean, we talk in football, mentality, mindset. What do you think is going to happen now? I mean, obviously they amped up now coming into it, but there's been this lag time, this laid back, So as a football analyst, as a sports pundit, what do you make of it?
Look, it's going to be tough times. We obviously have a lot to take from the Bundesliga. They had something like 16 injuries across the league within their first weekend of coming back to football.
Sure.
And training on a pitch alone and training in the gym and
Collective.
training in your yard, it's not the same as getting match fit and being match ready. And let's hope that the ABSA Premiership learns from all of these mistakes from around the globe and to avoid injury of our players and obviously look after the well-being of the players. So yeah, it's going to be tough. We do know there's only like 5 games of the season left. Um, Kaiser Chiefs have it all to play for. They currently on top of the log. They
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to secure their first ABSA Premiership after how many years and bring back the glory days to Soweto or Naturena, as they call it these days.
Yeah, well, Ponti and I have it out. I mean, he's all for peace, and I'm all for, that. But I seem to have lost Zakir there. I don't know what happened. Zakir, okay, you went off for a second. Sure, this internet really giving us a problem here. But anyway, yeah. So as I was saying, I have it out here with the COO Ponti. He's all for peace, and I was saying I'm all for this, since a kid, man. Looking at international football transfers, they're going to open up in a few weeks because we're obviously in June. July is another month to play, and then obviously the transfer market opens, right? Internationally, what are your expectations of the upcoming transfer market come August? Do you think there's going to be a massive pool of money, or you feel there's going to be a bit of a change this year? And when I say change, pun on the word change. Are we going to be dealing with small change, pop health, or you think the leagues are going to have that same momentum and influx of cash rotation as what there's normally been?
Look, it's going to be different. It's going to be a shock to the world. But by the looks of things, Chelsea's not wasting any time. They're making their intentions clear that they're looking to strengthen up their team. And I mean, they're beating the
Well,
likes of
Timo
Liverpool and
Werner,
Man City.
yeah.
Exactly. They're beating the likes of Liverpool and Man City. Two guys like Timo Werner. So it just shows that certain teams are looking to splash the cash, and then certain teams will look to spend more considerate, and so that they can actually last the entire season. So maybe bulk up their squad with a few not as good players, if you can call them. They wouldn't be starting 11 quality, but they would be part of the squad, just to ensure that they have a bigger squad to get them through the season, instead of using that money and spend it on one or two big stars.
Now, a very tricky question. For football teams who are at the bottom end of their respective leagues. We look at struggling teams in the relegation zones. They could use this COVID as an argumentative point regarding the results come the end of the season. The season's been halted, momentum's changed. You think some of these teams are probably there's been discussions, regarding the various football associations and leagues around the globe. But if you were a manager or let's say a stakeholder of a team, and you in Norwich, and you're in Norwich's position right now, for example, what would your actions be to try and maintain, your position within the league and not get relegated? Would you use the COVID? I'm just saying it could be a tactic. Some people might use it. I don't know. Viewers and listeners, they're open for comments on 0617660355. Zakir, what's your point on that?
Look, I don't think it can be used as an excuse. I mean, we had the likes of Liverpool, we had the likes of Kaizer Chiefs locally looking for excuses that the league should be finished, and if not finished, they should be handed the title. And many felt that was unfair
Well,
to
you
the
saw
team
there were
fighting
pundits
relegation.
like Gary
Yeah.
Neville who said no, Liverpool shouldn't be given the title. They must play the full three or four odd games. So now, where do you draw the line here?
Look, we need to understand. I know that you're an avid Manchester United fan, and we need to understand that the likes of
We have
Gary
to make
Neville,
this now a Man
he's an
United thing.
ex-player.
Okay.
He's an ex-player, but does he have the qualifications to call himself an analyst? Does he have the qualifications to call himself an administrator of football, to make that kind of decision and throw that kind of statements out there? I feel that it's very crazy. It's a crazy time. You have the likes of Gary Neville, Owen Hargreaves, all of these guys just throwing shade, if you can call it that, out there, so that a rival team like Liverpool doesn't take the league.
Okay, well, I see where you're going here and heading in the direction of former Man United stars and legends, as you're smirking there so brightfully there on the cam. But I think, in all fairness, it's great to have pundits who are former players, as obviously they understand the dynamics a bit more better, as what us broadcasters and presenters would. In concluding, Zakir, we know that there's been talk, in the respective leagues that the leagues are going to start. What's your most anticipated league match? What are you most looking forward to? What action are you anticipating apart from Bundesliga, PSL wise, EPL and Serie A? Let's look at it. Give me some of your thoughts.
No, certainly. Anything football related, I'm there. I mean, that's what everybody wants right now. But I certainly can't wait for the Absa Premiership to commence. We've got Kaizer Chiefs that are looking to take the title, with Sundowns hot on their heels, and SuperSport also in the running. So there's no chance for either of those teams to slip up. Otherwise, they will lose their spot at the title. Then also we've got the likes in the Absa. I mean, in the Premier League, we've got Liverpool that are what, 2 victories away from securing their first title in almost 30 years. Sure.
Yep.
I'm excited. I think that's going to be the first one that I'll experience in my lifetime, and hopefully I don't have to tell my kids about it, because they'll experience it themselves as well.
I've experienced many, eh? Wow, I can't even count. I think you're over 13 of them. But anyway,
Just
having said
subtly
that,
throwing it out there.
Bakir, I
Yeah,
see you clearly throwing it around. It's fine. Uh,
I'm not sure if
you
you've been
know,
up to date with the La Liga, ST. It's quite
yeah,
crazy times. The La Liga is bound to
mhm,
start any time from now, and Lionel Messi
yes.
refuses to train with his team. He's been on
Now,
his
this
own
is
gym
another thing
program at his house.
that I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about because I saw an article where, Barca apparently they were confident in Messi could have faced Mallorca despite his thigh injury. That's what he's saying. And what's up there? I mean, what's happening at the new camp? I mean, what's the story now? I mean, why throw the toys around?
I don't know. Do you think it could be what's happened at the new camp or what's happening in his household? Because he hasn't returned to training since training commenced for the La Liga and for Barcelona. So it looks like
Oh, so
Lionel
you're
Messi
opening up
could.
a domesticated problem. Wow, that really does open up a whole nother talking point. But hey, I mean that is Lionel Messi. Zakir, my brother, that's all we have time for. Unfortunately, that's where we leave it. Inshallah, and inshallah we'll chat again next week, man. You have a lovely weekend. Show you on Sunday, inshallah. So enjoy that, and we'll chat again, my brother. You take care.
I mean, certainly have a lekker one, eh? Enjoy the show
You too,
further.
man. Okay,
I'm
my
loving
bro.
the
Assalamu
content.
alaikum. Lovely, man.
Walaikum
Assalamu
salam.
alaikum. Zakir Dawood giving us some football. Obviously, the latest in the PSL, EPL, football leagues around the globe. What are some of your expectations, your anticipations in this regard? Send through your comments on 061 Interact with us. We love your feedback and your comments as well. We're coming to you live from our headquarters right here in Johannesburg, and you can comment below at the Facebook platform. If you are tuning in via the tuning app, we welcome one and all. It is now 2 minutes to 8, time for a sheet break and an ad break following thereafter. We continue with the program. We have and our next guest, who we're going to speak to in a few minutes, will be a lady by the name of Bahia Khan, a game developer, and a very interesting talking point is this Tech Talk Friday. We speak to her as she and her team have won an international gaming award. That and more still to come. Keep it locked to Salam Media.
Listen to Salam Media.